What's up, YouTube? Mr. Lamissy here, and today we're going to be talking about the assassin in Project Diablo 2. This is going to be a look at the character, at some of the skills. This is a week after the ladder has started, and so we just want to kind of talk about some of the builds that we have seen come out, what seems to be feeling good, what seems to be not doing as good. So, first things first. We can see that there's been some changes to this tree down here. There's now a chain lightning sentry. There's also the death sentry move over under here, under Wake of Inferno, right? So death sentry has now kind of traded or moved a spot over. Additionally, not a lot of changes here in the shadow discipline tree, if any at all. And then besides some changes like how weapon block and claw mastery, this is now claw and dagger mastery, right? Some things like that. But overall, no like big crazy changes there. And the martial arts tree really wasn't touched at all. So first things first, I'll just talk about there is now melee splash in this game on every weapon, or all melee weapons have a melee splash. With that and with this current martial arts tree, I have not seen a martial arts assassin that is good. I will just put that out there. It felt wonky when I played it, and I have yet to see anybody prove me otherwise. I would love if somebody in chat or somebody in YouTube has some video of their martial arts assassin on PD2 doing well, but I just don't know. They said that they are going to address the martial arts sin in Season 2. They didn't really give it a look in Season 1. But it does just feel kind of wonky. So we're not really seeing a lot of martial arts prominent at all on the ladder. Shadow Disciplines, however, has blown up. And the reason for that is because of Mind Blast. So Mind Blast, I'll actually respec first. Mind Blast starts off as a stun, right? Your standard crowd control Mind Blast, right? I hit the monsters. I stun the monsters. You don't get the conversion chance anymore, but you do get a stun right here. So it's nice because it can help you just stun monsters, right? Good for whatever builds. Good for supporting all of that stuff. However, as soon as you put a second point into it, the stun goes away, and instead, Mind Blast now becomes a damage skill. So you're going to do that. You're going to do this bad boy. You're going to do this bad boy. And then Shadow Warrior. Right, yeah. And so, with that, you can go out, and now instead of stunning stuff, you do a large AOE damage. And it is just doing very well. A lot of people are seeing good success with this for single player. Just for them to be able to go through the game. You can put stuff in hit recovery, and you can just do good damage. So this is a very powerful build. Yes, it's a physical damage. Psychic Hammer is also not bad against bosses. It does magic damage and does really good damage there as well. So here you have magic and physical between the two of those, and that's really nice. So that gives you a really good combination. I don't think you ever really run into magic and physical. So if you're looking for a build where you don't have to really worry about immunities, this is probably a pretty decent build for that. Additionally, you can get yourself a little Shadow Warrior to go with you right there, right? If you want. Or you can go for some Shadow Master stuff. Whatever. So this is the build that everybody is really running right now because it's a fun new style of build. It's very strong. It's very good for solo play. Highly recommended as an assassin build to play. Additionally, we are seeing a lot of people, and once again, there's still plenty of people, you still run your like fade and burst of speed stuff and whatnot. But there is some nerfs to like burst of speed. It's a lot slower run walk and things. And IAS only comes from hard points in it. Other than this, I have seen a lot of trapsins, and it seems like light trapsin is still the way to go. Some people are messing around with fire, and obviously fire is still good early, but lightning sentry and then chain lightning sentry are both seeming to be very solid. And so we're seeing a lot of lightning, chain lightning, death sentry style builds like we've seen before, right? So very good. You also get boost to the number of bombs, for instance, on your fire blast as well. So it gives you kind of something else to do after you really set down your traps, right? So you can go and you can, let's just say I have some like light sentries that I set down. I go and I'll like set down my light sentries, and then I can throw, right, 5 fire bombs at a time. So just kind of some extra boost right there. That's really nice. Charge bolt sentry was also very strong for a long while building up towards that later stuff. So I found that trapsin was still a very solid build. However, you now have the opportunity to really come over here and mess around with some Mind Blast and do some of that. Martial arts maybe could be good if you get like late game, really solid gear, whatever. But I think martial arts is just going to be very weak playing through the game until you get like GG gear. And then it might come online. But I've yet to see anybody prove me of that. And the last build that I'll talk about, and one that I kind of played around with, was our Bladesin here. I'm not sure how great Blades ends up being later, but I found Blades being really fun through kind of normal and some of Nightmare when I was playing around with it. Blade Sentinel, they changed the speed of it really, and I found that to be right. So you can see it actually has a good speed as opposed to in vanilla where it very much is chill. And so good speed, fun damage. Obviously you get yourself a nice weapon. Blade Fury was also decent, but you still had that kind of wind up. I think you really need to get some good IAS because you can still see, right? It still kind of has a long wind up. I think it's based on your attack speed now. So maybe getting a lot of attack speed will really help bring that down. But something that could also be potentially decent. But that's still to be proven out for like a Hell build. I haven't really seen any Hell Blade Sens either. No, it should still be IAS. So Assassin overall, still a little limited. Traps, but you now get this new build really with Mind Blast. That is one of the most powerful builds in the game, I would say. And you get some additional stuff with traps, like Charge Bolts is nice now. You have a Chain Lightning Sentry, which is kind of interesting. Blades kind of work, and maybe some stuff with Martial. But like I said, I don't really have a lot of great info on the Martial as it's not a big thing that's been done. So when I'm leveling up the Assassin, I'm probably going into Wake of Fire or Charge Bolt Sentry and using that as my main sentry for a large portion of it. And then I'll be moving into the sentries when I get kind of a little bit later. And like I said, they are going to redesign martial arts in Season 2. So 4 months from now, we should see new martial arts. As for Mind Blast, you'd probably just start out with Psychic Hammer, honestly, and then move into Mind Blast, right? You can just go around and just knock some dudes around with some damage. Obviously, I don't have any really points thrown in it there, but that is the general idea of the Assassin. And yeah, you can run Shockwave, and Shockwave no longer has next hit delay on it, and Fire Blast now gets up to 5 bombs. So both of those are now viable things that you can throw in while you are doing your traps. But that's a look at the Assassin. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, YouTube.